Hello, my friend. Welcome to Daily English Podcast. I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like you want to change your life, but you don't know where to start? Maybe you want better health, more money, more confidence, or a better future for your family. You think about it, you dream about it, but for some reason, nothing really changes. You wake up and every day feels kind of the same.
If you've ever felt that before, you're not alone. Most people think that big change comes from big action or big luck, but that's not true. Real change comes from something much smaller, your daily habits. And today, we're talking about why small habits shape your future.
Yes, this is a powerful topic because small habits are like silent architects. They're quietly building your future, even when you don't notice. One small decision today, one small action repeated tomorrow, one small commitment repeated next week. Over time, these small habits create big results.
But here's the problem most people have. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. They say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next month. I'll start when I'm ready. And because they wait for motivation, they stay stuck. They never build habits. They never see results.
That sounds clear and confident. Motivation is like a guest. It comes and goes. But habits stay. Motivation starts you, but habits keep you going. That's why people who depend on motivation rarely succeed. But people who build habits succeed slowly, but surely.
And that's why this episode matters. Because today, you're going to learn why small habits are more powerful than big goals, how your habits shape your identity, why tiny progress is better than waiting for perfect progress, how to build habits even when you feel lazy, and how small habits can change any area of your life: health, money, relationships, mindset, and success.
And we're not here to give a lecture. We're here to have a real conversation that helps you think, reflect, and grow. Because change doesn't start with action. Change starts with understanding.
Yes, and if you listen until the end of this episode, you will not only understand the science of habits, but you will also learn a simple system to build habits that actually stick.
And don't worry, we're not here to complicate your life. We're here to make it easier. We'll show you small things, simple daily actions you can do that slowly but surely transform your future.
So let's start with a simple story. Imagine two people, John and David. John wants to get healthier, so he buys workout shoes, watches fitness videos, and says, I'll start running tomorrow. But every day he says the same thing, I'll start tomorrow. He waits for motivation, but motivation doesn't come, so nothing changes. David, on the other hand, chooses a small habit. Every morning, he walks for just 5 minutes. That's all. 5 minutes. No pressure, no excuses, just 5 minutes. After a week, 5 minutes becomes 10. After a month, 10 becomes 20. After 3 months, he starts running. After 6 months, he feels stronger. After a year, people ask him, how did you transform yourself?
But David will smile and say something simple. I didn't transform overnight. It was just small habits every day. And that's the truth. You don't need to change your life in one day. You only need to start small and stay consistent.
So if you feel like your goals are too big, too heavy, or too far, don't worry. You don't need to jump. You only need to step. One small habit at a time.
In this episode, we're going to help you find those steps. And we'll do it in a way that feels friendly, real, and practical. No pressure, no judgment. Just growth together.
So take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy this journey with us. Let's create habits that build your future slowly, powerfully, and permanently.
In the last part, you said something important. You said real change does not come from big actions. It comes from small habits. I want to add something to that before we continue. Many people fail not because they are weak, but because they are waiting for motivation. That is one of the biggest mistakes in life.
Yes, you're right. People always say, I want to start working out, but I don't feel motivated yet. Or, I want to improve my English, but I don't feel motivated yet. They think motivation is the key. But is it?
Not at all. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are not stable. Some days you feel like doing something, some days you don't. If you depend on motivation, you will always start and stop, again and again. But habits stay, even when your mood changes.
So what you're saying is, motivation is temporary, but habits are permanent.
That captures it well. Think about brushing your teeth. You do not wait for motivation to brush your teeth, right? You just do it because it is already a part of your life. Imagine if exercise could become like brushing your teeth. Imagine if reading could become automatic. Imagine if saving money or learning a new skill could become your daily routine. That is the power of habits.
I like that. It means habits make good behavior easier.
Yes, and here's something even more powerful. Small habits don't look important today. If you read for 10 minutes today, nothing changes. If you walk for 5 minutes today, nothing changes. If you save $1 today, nothing changes. But if you repeat those small habits every day, everything changes.
So the problem is, people want big results quickly. And when they don't see fast results, they quit too early.
That's precisely the idea. Most people are not patient. They want the result without building the habit. But success comes from repetition, not from speed. The people who succeed are not always the most talented. They are the people who show up every day, even when they don't feel like it.
Let me ask you this. What do we do when we don't feel motivated at all? What if someone feels lazy or tired?
Start small. When you feel lazy, reduce the size of the habit. If you don't want to run for 20 minutes, just walk for 3. If you don't want to read for 30 minutes, read 1 page. If you don't want to study English, listen to a podcast for 5 minutes. The secret is to keep moving. Never stop completely.
That makes sense. It is better to do a small habit than to do nothing.
Yes, because every time you repeat a habit, you are training your brain. You are building discipline. You are building identity. You're becoming the kind of person who does not quit. And that is more powerful than motivation.
I like that mindset. Motivation fades, feelings change, but habits stay with you.
Yes, build habits, not excuses. Before we close this part, let's review some useful vocabulary we use today. What does the word reliable mean?
Reliable means something you can trust because it works the same way every time. For example, motivation is not reliable because you do not feel it every day, but habits are reliable because they stay with you.
Good. And what about the word routine?
Routine means something you do regularly, usually every day. For example, drinking water in the morning or going for a walk can be a part of your daily routine.
Next word, what does temporary mean?
Temporary means something that does not last for a long time. For example, motivation is temporary, but habits can last for years.
Yeah, that's correct. How about repetition?
Repetition means doing the same thing again and again. For example, you improve your English by repetition, listening, speaking, and practicing every day.
And what does discipline mean?
Discipline means doing what is right even when you do not feel like doing it. For example, waking up early to exercise is discipline.
Last one. What does quit mean?
Quit means to stop doing something completely. For example, most people quit when things get hard, but strong people continue.
In the last part, we said that small habits are more powerful than motivation. Now I want to ask you something that many people are still confused about. What is the real difference between goals and habits?
That is a great question. A goal is something you want to achieve. A habit is something you do every day. Goals are about the result. Habits are about the process. For example, if your goal is to lose 5 kilograms, that is a result. But exercising daily and eating healthy meals, those are habits. Goals tell you what you want. Habits tell you how to get it.
I understand. Goals are like destinations, and habits are the road that takes you there.
That's perfectly said. And here is why many people fail. They focus too much on the goal and ignore the habit. They say, I want to be rich, but they never build habits like saving money or improving skills. They say, I want to speak English fluently, but they don't build the daily speaking habit. They focus on the dream, but forget the routine.
So is that why people feel disappointed when they set big goals?
Yes, because goals create pressure. When people don't see fast results, they feel like they are failing. But failure doesn't come from small progress. Failure comes from quitting. And people quit because they depend on goals, not habits.
That makes so much sense. It's not the goal that gives success, it's the system behind the goal.
That's a good point. Think of it like farming. A farmer doesn't wake up and say, I want tall plants today. No, he builds a system. Plant the seeds, water them, give them sunlight, protect them from insects. That system is like habits. If you follow a good system, results will come automatically. You don't need to chase success. Success grows from your habits.
I like that example. So the smart person focuses more on the system than the goal.
Yes. And here's the truth. Your habits are more important than your goals because your habits decide your future, even when your motivation is low. A goal is something you think about sometimes. A habit is something you live with every day.
Some people might ask, should I stop setting goals then?
No, goals are still useful. They give direction, but you should not depend on goals alone. A goal without habits is just a wish. So here's a better plan. Use goals for direction. Use habits for progress. The goal shows where you want to go. The habit makes sure you get there.
Can you give a few simple examples so our listeners can understand how habits support goals in real life?
Of course, let's make it simple. If a person wants to speak English better, thinking about that goal is not enough. They need a daily habit, like practicing speaking or listening for at least 15 minutes every day. If a person wants to lose weight, wishing for it will not change anything. But if they build the habit of walking for 20 minutes every day and drinking enough water, they will see slow but real progress. If someone wants to save money, the goal alone will not help. The habit of saving a small amount every week, even $1 or $2, creates discipline and long-term results. If someone wants to reduce stress, the goal alone does not solve the problem. But a small daily habit like 10 minutes of quiet breathing or writing in a journal can calm the mind and improve emotional health. If someone wants to become wiser or improve their thinking, they should build the habit of reading a little every day instead of wasting time on social media. Even 10 pages a day can change the way a person thinks.
So the message is clear. The goal shows where you want to go, but the daily habit is what takes you there.
That's how I see it too. People fail not because they have the wrong goals, but because they do not build the right habits.
In the last part, we learned that goals are useful, but habits are what truly create progress. You also said something important. People do not fail because they have the wrong goals. They fail because they do not build the right habits. So now I want to ask, what if someone starts building habits but feels like their progress is too small, too slow, or invisible? How can they stay motivated in the beginning?
That is a very important question, and it is one of the biggest reasons people quit. When we start new habits, we want fast results. But small habits don't show results quickly. They grow slowly. This is where the 1% rule becomes powerful.
The 1% rule? What does that mean?
The 1% rule means that if you get just 1% better every day, over time your results will become huge. 1% sounds very small, but when you improve a tiny amount over many days, weeks, and months, it builds into something powerful.
Can you give a simple example?
Of course. Imagine two people learning English. One studies for 2 hours only once a week. The other studies for 15 minutes every day. After 1 month, the person studying daily has already built a strong habit. After 3 months, their listening is better. After 6 months, their speaking feels more natural. After 9 months, they begin to think in English. After a year, people say, "Wow, how did your English improve so much?"
And the person who studies only once a week?
Still stuck, still struggling, still restarting again and again. Because success is not about how much you do in one day. It is about what you do every day. Tiny actions become powerful when they are repeated. That is the power of 1% improvement.
So success belongs to people who are consistent, not perfect.
You're absolutely right. Let me give you another example. Imagine two people saving money. The first person waits until they have a big salary to start saving. The second person saves a small amount every week. After 1 year, the first person has nothing. The second person has built savings and a new habit. Small progress creates big results over time.
But why is small progress so powerful?
Because small progress builds momentum. When you do something every day, even if it is small, your brain begins to believe you're serious. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to see yourself differently. A new identity starts to grow. You stop saying, "I can't," and you begin saying, "I'm improving."
I like that idea. Habits build success, but they also build confidence.
Yes. And here's something most people don't understand. You don't need to feel motivated to take action, but when you take action, you begin to feel motivated. Action creates motivation, not the other way around.
That is true. After I finish a workout, I feel more motivated to continue. After I read a few pages, I want to read more. After I clean my workspace, I feel better.
That's completely true. Motivation does not start from thinking. It starts from doing. That is why the 1% rule works. When you do a small habit each day, your brain gets a little stronger each time. Small wins build big confidence.
So for anyone listening right now who wants to change their life, they don't need to start big. They can begin with one small habit.
Yes, start small, stay patient, trust the process, believe in growth. That is how your habits slowly but surely shape your future.
In the last part, we talked about the 1% rule. Small progress every day leads to big results over time. But I think many people still wonder, what exactly creates that progress every day? What shapes our future? And the answer is simple, our daily routine. Let's talk about that. Why do you believe a daily routine is so important?
Because your routine decides your direction in life. Your future is not created by one decision or one event. It is created by what you do again and again, your daily habits. If you show me someone's routine, I can predict their future.
Can you explain that more clearly?
Of course, if someone wakes up late every day, checks their phone for 1 hour, complains, rushes to work, feels stressed, and never learns or improves, what kind of future will they have? The same as their past. But if someone wakes up, drinks water, reads for 10 minutes, exercises a little, practices a skill, and stays focused, what kind of future will they have? A better one. Why? Because improvement is part of their routine.
So our routine shows what we are becoming, not just what we are doing.
Exactly. Your routine tells a story about your life. A routine of learning creates a smarter future. A routine of saving creates a stronger financial future. A routine of fitness builds a healthier future. A routine of discipline builds a confident future. Success is not something you do sometimes. Success is something you do every day.
I feel like people know this is true, but they still struggle. Why do so many people have weak routines even when they want a better life?
Because most people don't design their routine. They let life control it. They wake up and react to everything. Messages, problems, noise, stress. Their day controls them instead of them controlling their day. A strong routine does not happen by accident. You must build it on purpose.
That sounds powerful. A routine built with purpose. But where can someone start if their routine is a mess?
Start small and start simple. A routine doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to support your future. For example, here is a small but powerful morning routine anyone can follow. Drink water after waking up. Spend 5 minutes planning your day. Move your body for 10 minutes. Practice one skill for 10 minutes. Avoid your phone for the first 30 minutes. Even that simple routine can change your energy, your mind, and your day.
I can feel the difference just listening to it. But I want to ask, can you give a real story, something that shows how a simple routine changed someone's life?
Let me share something real. There was a guy named Daniel, and honestly, his life was stuck. No direction, no energy, no hope. He spent hours scrolling on his phone, gaming late, sleeping late. Every day felt the same. One day, he read a simple line, just one line. Your future depends on your routine. And he said to himself, wait, if that's true, then my future is in danger. So he didn't change everything. He didn't try to be perfect. He just made one small rule. Do one thing every morning to improve my life. Just one. Day 1, he read for 10 minutes. Next week, he added a small journal. Later, he started walking after breakfast. No pressure, no drama, just small progress. And something beautiful happened. He started to feel better, clearer, stronger, more focused. 6 months later, he started a small online business. 1 year later, he quit his job. Now, he teaches other people how to build habits. His life didn't change in one night. It changed one morning at a time.
That is powerful. One morning at a time. That's the message.
Yes, people always wait for the right time to change their life. But the right time is not next week, not next month, not next year. The right time is today. Change your routine, and your routine will change your future.
In the last part, we talked about routines and how they shape your day and your future. But I want to go deeper now, because not all routines are good. Some habits build your life, but some habits slowly destroy it without you even noticing. So let me ask you, what is the real difference between good habits and bad habits?
The difference is simple, but serious. Good habits give you power. Bad habits take your power away. Good habits push you forward. Bad habits hold you back. The problem is most people don't even realize which habits are controlling them. They think habits are small things, but habits are not small. Habits are the silent force that controls your future.
That sounds strong, but what do you mean by silent force?
I call habits a silent force because they shape your life quietly, without making noise. Think about it. No one sees you scrolling on your phone for hours. No one sees you skipping exercise. No one sees you wasting money on things that don't matter. No one sees you telling yourself negative thoughts. But all those small actions, done again and again, add up. They shape your character. They shape your future.
So people don't fail overnight. They fail slowly because of bad habits.
That's a good point. Failure is not one big mistake. It's many small decisions repeated over time. And success works the same way. It is built quietly through small, healthy habits. That's why some people move forward and others stay stuck. It's not luck. It's not talent. Most of the time, it's habits.
Give us some examples so this becomes real for everyone listening.
Of course. Let me give a few simple comparisons. Waking up early and waking up late. Reading daily and scrolling daily. Exercising daily and sitting daily. Saving money and wasting money. Learning daily and complaining daily. Solving problems and blaming people. Taking action and making excuses. Look at those pairs. Each one is a choice, a direction, a habit. One builds you, one breaks you.
I love that. One builds you, one breaks you. But let me ask something hard. Why do people still continue their bad habits even when they know those habits are hurting them?
Because bad habits feel good now, but hurt later. Good habits feel hard now, but help later. That's the truth. Eating junk food feels good now, unhealthy later. Watching videos all night feels good now, tired and unproductive later. Staying in your comfort zone feels good now, regret later.
So bad habits give a small reward now, but pain later.
That's so true. And good habits are the opposite. They require effort now, but they reward you later. The strongest people are not the ones with the best bodies or biggest bank accounts. The strongest people are the ones who choose long-term growth over short-term comfort.
So the real question is not do I have habits, but do I have the right habits?
Yes, because you cannot escape habits. Everyone has them. If you don't build good habits, bad habits will build themselves. And once they control you, they steal your time, energy, and future quietly every day. So we must choose our habits carefully because in the end, your habits are either your best friend or your worst enemy.
That's powerful. And it's true. Your habits either build your future or slowly destroy it. There is no middle.
Exactly. So if anyone listening wants a better life, a stronger mind, or a more successful future, don't start by changing your goals. Start by changing your habits.
In the last part, we talked about how good habits build your future and bad habits destroy it quietly. But many people still struggle to build new habits because they feel it takes too much effort, time, and discipline. So I want to ask you, what is a simple way for someone to build a new habit without feeling stressed or overwhelmed?
There is a simple method called habit stacking. It is one of the easiest ways to build a new habit, especially if you feel busy or lazy. Habit stacking means you attach a new habit to a habit you already do every day. This makes it easier to remember and easier to stay consistent.
Attach a new habit to an old habit. That sounds interesting. Can you explain how it works?
Of course. Think about your life. There are some things you already do every day without thinking, like brushing your teeth, making coffee, checking your phone, taking a shower, or going to bed. Those are existing habits. Habit stacking uses those habits as an anchor, a starting point to build a new habit. So instead of trying to force a habit from nothing, you connect it to something you already do.
So it becomes automatic because your mind already remembers the first action and the new action follows it.
That's completely true. Your brain loves patterns. When two actions are linked together again and again, the brain starts to see them as one routine. Soon, they feel natural together, and you don't have to use willpower to remember.
That sounds very practical, but I know some people make new habits too big and they fail. Does habit stacking also help keep habits small and simple?
Yes, that is the secret. Habit stacking works best when the new habit is small and easy. If you try to add a big habit, you will feel tired and stop. But if you start with something small, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, or one simple action, your brain accepts it easily. Then, once it becomes natural, you can slowly increase it.
So habit stacking is not about doing everything at once. It's about building slowly but consistently.
Exactly. And the best part? When you stack habits, your routine becomes stronger. Instead of random actions, your day becomes a smart system, and success comes from systems.
So, to build better habits, we don't need more motivation. We just need a clear structure, and habit stacking gives us that structure.
Yes. When your life becomes structured with good habits, you no longer fight with yourself. You simply follow your rhythm, and your rhythm leads you to progress.
We've talked about building routines and stacking habits to make life easier. But now I want to face a hard truth. Even with simple habits, there will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when you feel tired. Days when your mind says, not today. So the question is, what keeps people moving forward when motivation disappears?
The answer is one word: discipline. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a choice you make, even when you don't feel like it.
So, in the long run, motivated people don't win. Disciplined people win.
You're absolutely right. Motivation is good for starting, but discipline is what keeps you going. Everybody is motivated on the first day. The difference between winners and quitters is what happens after day one. Winners keep going, no matter how they feel. That is discipline.
But discipline sounds difficult for many people. Why do you think people struggle with discipline?
Because people think discipline means being perfect, but it doesn't. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about commitment. It means showing up even on your weekdays. It means doing at least a little bit instead of doing nothing. Real discipline is not heavy, it's simple. Don't break the chain, just do something today.
So discipline is not about doing everything. It's about doing something consistently.
Yes, and there's one more truth people must understand. You cannot wait for discipline. You must build it. Discipline grows when you practice it. Just like a muscle, it gets stronger every time you use it. If you avoid a challenge, you stay weak. If you face a challenge, you grow stronger.
That makes sense. So it's not about talent, luck, or feeling ready. It's about controlling your actions even when you don't control your feelings.
That's right. Winners act based on goals, not moods. Losers act based on moods, not goals. Your feelings can lie to you. Discipline keeps you honest. When life gets hard, discipline is your best friend. It doesn't care if you are tired or busy or not in the mood. It reminds you, show up anyway.
That is powerful. So if someone listening wants to change their future, they shouldn't wait for motivation anymore.
No. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for rain in a desert. It might never come. Start with small discipline. Keep your promise to yourself each day. That's how strong habits are born. That's how leaders are built. That's how success becomes real.
Before we move forward, there's something real we need to talk about. It's easy to say, build good habits, but most people also struggle with bad habits. And let's be honest, sometimes people feel frustrated with themselves. Some even feel guilty because they can't stop a habit they know is bad for them. So I want to ask you, how can someone break a bad habit without stress or self-hate?
I'm glad you said without stress or self-hate, because that's where most people go wrong. They try to break a habit by fighting themselves. They think, I just need more willpower, or I need to be stronger. But habits don't change because you punish yourself. Habits change when you understand yourself. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me, it's better to ask, why do I keep doing this?
So there's always a reason behind every habit, even the bad ones.
That captures it well. Every habit gives some kind of emotional reward. It could be comfort, escape, stress relief, or even boredom relief. That's why habits stick. They are doing something for you, even if it's not healthy. The problem isn't the habit itself. The problem is what the habit is trying to fix.
Okay, so if someone knows they have a bad habit, what's the best way to start changing it?
There are 3 gentle steps anyone can follow. First, don't attack yourself. Change doesn't happen by feeling ashamed. You are what you think. Everyone has habits they're trying to fix. Be honest, but be kind to yourself. Second, find the trigger. Bad habits don't just appear. Something starts them. Stress, fear, boredom, loneliness, or even certain people or places.
If you understand what triggers your habit, you can begin to control it. Third, replace the habit instead of trying to kill it. Your brain doesn't like empty space. If you remove a habit without replacing it, your mind will pull you back to it. But if you switch it with something better, change becomes easier.
So instead of trying to stop, we should try to switch.
Yeah, that's correct. If scrolling your phone wastes your time, switch it by reading for 5 minutes. If stress makes you eat junk food, switch it with a glass of water and a short walk. If your habit is negative thinking, switch it with problem-solving thinking. Replace I can't with, okay, what can I do now?
That actually feels possible. It's not about perfection, it's about better choices.
Absolutely. You don't need to win every day. You just need to keep going. Progress is not fast and perfect, it's gentle and consistent. One day at a time. If you keep replacing your bad habits even slowly, the new habits will win.
We've shared a lot so far. Habits, routine, discipline, breaking bad habits. But now I want to make it real. Because some people might still think, can small habits really change a life? So let's get honest. Do small habits truly create big results?
They do. And I don't want anyone to just believe it. I want them to feel it. So let's share real examples, real people, real change, no magic, no luck, just small habits done consistently.
All right, let's go. Real change, real stories.
First story, health. There was a woman who struggled with her weight for years. She tried everything, diet plans, cutting sugar, joining the gym, but it never lasted. One day she said, enough, I'm tired of starting over. So she made one simple rule, walk 10 minutes after dinner. Just 10 minutes, no pressure, no big goals. After 2 weeks, she felt better. After 1 month, she increased to 20 minutes. 1 year later, she lost 18 kilograms. No crazy programs, just one small habit done daily.
So she didn't change her life in one day. She changed her days and life followed.
That's a good point. Second story, career. There was a man who wanted a better job, but his English was weak. He didn't have time for long classes, so he made a small habit. Practice English for 10 minutes every day. That's it, 10 minutes. Speaking out loud, shadowing videos, recording voice messages. After 6 months, he gained confidence. After 9 months, he got a promotion. After 1 year, he doubled his salary. Not from luck, from daily practice.
That's powerful because he didn't wait until he had more time. He just worked with what he had.
That's perfectly said. Third story, mindset. There was a guy who used to get angry very easily. Stress controlled him. He always reacted too fast, said things he didn't mean, and hurt people he cared about. He didn't change by reading a big psychology book. He changed with one 5-minute habit, reflection before sleep. Every night he asked himself 2 questions. What did I do well today? And what can I do better tomorrow? That simple habit changed his thinking. Then it changed his behavior. Then it changed his life.
Because habits don't just change actions, they change identity.
Nicely phrased. And that's the point of all these stories. Small habits don't look powerful today, but they become powerful tomorrow. If you stay consistent, even simple actions can create a new life.
And anyone listening can do this. Anyone. Start small, stay consistent, grow daily. That's the real formula.
Yes, your future doesn't change in one day. It changes every day through small habits.
Before we close this episode, let's take a moment together. We've talked about many powerful ideas. Habits, discipline, change, growth. But all of it means nothing unless we apply it. Learning is not about collecting information. Learning is about transformation.
Yes, change does not happen in one day, but it can begin today. And if you're listening right now, I want you to know, your life is not controlled by luck or other people. Your life is controlled by your habits, your decisions, and your mindset. No matter where you are right now, you can begin shaping your future one small habit at a time.
Before we end, let's quickly review a few simple but powerful words we used today. What does discipline mean?
Discipline means doing what is right even when you don't feel like it. It is the habit that keeps you going when motivation disappears.
What about consistency?
Consistency means showing up again and again, even with small actions. Success belongs to consistent people, not perfect people.
Explain identity.
Identity is how you see yourself. When your habits change, your identity changes, and so does your life.
2 more. What is a routine?
A routine is what you do daily. Your routine decides your direction in life.
And finally, mindset.
Mindset is the way you think. With a strong mindset, no habit is too small and no goal is too big.
So here is the truth. Habits are not small. Habits are your future in motion. Even one small habit repeated daily can build a stronger body, a sharper mind, a better career, and a calmer life.
And to anyone listening right now, you do not need to change everything. You only need to change something. One thing. One simple action you can repeat daily. If you start small but stay consistent, success becomes a direction, not a dream.
Thank you for listening to the Daily English Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, the more you learn, the more you grow.